Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, M96.3 FM, The Source.
Minutes after 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Nice looking Friday. Hope you're doing okay. Do you know, I don't know how many people can relate to this. I don't think I became aware until I was like 4, maybe 3. I'm not even sure about that. Maybe even 5. Do you have any sense of when you became aware of it? At what age?
No, probably, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7, I guess.
Hey, maybe that's more accurate for me. I don't know. Throughout life, we have little kind of moments of being not as aware as we can be, or more aware. A great example is this job. When I first started this job, and I started this particular show 16 years ago, and when you do a show and you have to focus on the guest, and you have to also pay attention to the equipment that you're running, because we're a small station, so I don't have a producer, just so you know.
Yeah.
The equipment, the technical part of it was more in getting my attention than the guest. Big mistake. You have to be aware of the guest. Okay. Little hint if you want to do this job. Dr. Daniel Siegel kind of points that out in the book, although he doesn't talk about being a radio host. He does focus on the things we need to focus on.
Exactly.
and how to do that. And it's not always easy, but there are ways, and the book will help you. The book is called Aware, The Science and Practice of Presence, the groundbreaking meditation practice. I might try this later on. Dr. Daniel Siegel is a clinical professor of psychiatry at the UCLA David Geffen School of Medicine. He's a co-founding director of the UCLA Mindful Awareness Research Center, the executive director of the MindSight Institute, and a New York Times bestselling author. And this book, as a matter of fact, I'm looking at it on Amazon, it is number 7. I mean, wow. That's not number 7 in a category. It's number 7, period.
Congratulations.
Oh, Doctor. My gosh. How many books can say that, right?
Yeah.
Hey, it's ahead of that book called Fear, the one about Trump. Yeah. It's actually beating that one. Dr. Siegel, you are hitting it out of the park. Good morning. How are you, sir?
Thank you, Larry. Hi, Robin. It's great to be here, and it's really fun to hear you two talk about when you became aware.
Yeah, I mean, that I always wonder about those years. I wondered if I was even here.
Well, we do develop awareness across the lifespan, and the really amazing thing from the science is at any age, you can actually develop your ability to be aware and improve the health of your body and your relationships.
Do you know what they say, and please, I don't want to jinx myself by bringing this up, but they say, like, when you're in a critical situation, like, let's say you witnessed an accident and you're trying to help the person get out of a fire or get out of a crumpled car or something horrible like that, that your awareness is so keen that you don't even realize how keen it is until afterwards.
Yeah, that's right. Well, awareness is an amazing, amazing thing. And I did this practice called the Wheel of Awareness systematically with 10,000 people in workshops, recorded their results. And that is one of the things people describe when they get into pure awareness. There's this big, big feeling of openness that they get. And that can happen in emergencies, but it can happen in everyday life too.
And is there a way to, or a need to, is there a way to and a need to? I got kind of 2 questions in one, to be able to turn it on intentionally.
Yeah, there is. And let me give you an example. Let's say a challenge in life we're going to equate with like a tablespoon of salt. If your awareness container is like the size of an espresso cup, then if we dumped that tablespoon of salt into a volume of water that's just an espresso cup size, it's too salty to drink, right?
Right, yeah.
But let's say we could do a practice where you learn to have your awareness 100-gallon size, and then we put that same life challenge of a tablespoon of salt into 100 gallons, stirred it up. What would the water taste like?
You wouldn't even notice it.
You wouldn't even notice, exactly. And that's what cultivating a practice like the Wheel of Awareness does, is it expands this hub of awareness so that when you need to, especially, at the ready is the ability to have this big container, so when a difficult thing in life arises, you can be ready to be stirring it into this large set of awareness so it doesn't flip you out. You stay clear, you stay calm, whether it's fear about what's going on in politics or in your neighborhood or with a family member or a friend or even with challenges to your own health. Having awareness that's wide open can be extremely helpful. It gives you resilience.
Really? So I'm going to tell you something, and I'm wondering if this is that. I was working at a job that I hated a long time ago. I hated everything about it. I hated the way I was treated. I hated the work I had to do. It was weighing on me so heavy. I went away, and I got on an airplane, and the airplane flew over the city I lived in. And when I looked down at the city, it was so small. And I realized that in that city is a building, and that's even smaller. I can't even find it. And all of this is weighing on me so big. Up against the world, it looks so small. And that really helped me. I moved on from there and quit the job. I said, okay, well, there you go.
Exactly.
It wasn't as important as I made it to seem.
That's a beautiful example of getting perspective with a wider view that comes from this open awareness. Exactly. And that's what people describe with the Wheel of Awareness practice. It gives them the capacity to not get lost in the particular issue, but rather to see it with a much wiser perspective.
And that helps with anxiety a lot. I know sometimes when I get, hyper or something, I just start grabbing food and just eating whatever I can get my hands on. But the way your book is laid out is that you say that everything affects your nervous system, and you help give the reader control of that.
Right. So let's say, because I have the same issue, Robin, for sure. Let's say you have a small container of consciousness, this hub of the wheel, and you get nervous and anxious, and so you reach for some food, you eat it. The problem with that is afterwards you say, I wish I didn't eat that food. Well, when you have a more expanded hub, then when the impulse to eat comes in, you go, something, I have an impulse to eat, but I think I'll choose not to. So you can say to yourself, I have the space of awareness to say, I'm aware of the impulse, that's a point on the rim, but I choose not to follow it. That's the difference between someone who's cultivated this expanded awareness, this more, I call it integrated, it's more integrated way to be, so that even though you may still have the impulse to eat when you're anxious, you choose to do something more productive, more helpful for your anxiety than just putting food in your mouth.
I'm going to use that.
I love that.
I'm taking that with me.
Yeah.
That's my takeaway from this conversation. Oh my gosh.
It's incredible, Yeah, and what was fun about writing the book Aware was that there are lots of examples of this where people with this simple idea, if you picture the wheel as the hub is awareness, the rim is what you're aware of, you systematically go around it with a spoke, it's the practice, but even just the idea of it gives you freedom. That without that, you just get lost on the rim and you do whatever the impulse is.
My goodness. And the book is so big, and this is such a short little thing you just said. What else is in the book? This. Wow.
Yeah, well, what's so fun about writing it was, since I've done it with so many people, both in my practice as a therapist, but then to people I've taught who are therapists, my students, and then to, workshop participants, over 10,000, in these systematic study I did. The results have been quite amazing to hear just with one practice, how people feel this basically strengthening of their mind because they can distinguish the hub from the rim. And as they go through it, it builds on the research that shows literally they're going to be strengthening the circuits in their brain that allow the brain to function in a more what's called regulated way. And in addition, they're going to improve their cardiovascular functioning. So they lower the blood pressure, lower the cholesterol levels, improve the way the heart communicates with the brain, and all sorts of other things like boosting the immune system, lowering inflammation, reducing stress, and even slowing the aging process.
Oh my gosh. So as Rob and I are both musicians when we're not doing radio shows, radio shows too, this applies. I mean, if we don't pay attention to you, we're lost if we don't pay attention to the guest. But in music, you have to be focused on the music at that moment. You have to be, right? Same thing is true for a surgeon, right?
It's true for a surgeon. It's true for a musician. You know, my son is a professional musician, and we have long walks and talks about this all the time. And when I talk about his not just playing, but also writing music, presence is exactly what you need for both performing and for creating. And, you know, I'm so respectful of musicians, you know, because what you're doing is you're connecting with the music, you're connecting with your other musicians, and then you're connecting with your audience in this way that is just exquisite. I think it's magnificent.
Wow. Well, I'm more impressed with medical people because if we make a mistake, everybody just makes a face. If you make a mistake, somebody dies.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know. And you know, that's the amazing thing about where we're at, you know, unfortunately, depression, anxiety, and even suicide has been increasing in our youth and even in adults.
So sad.
In the medical profession, it's very high too, sadly, in our trainees. So what the wheel does is it gives you a way to strengthen the mind. So anxiety and depression and the feeling of helplessness and hopelessness and despair that sometimes are what lead to suicide can actually be diminished. And this is so important because, I mean, the message that we need to get out to the world is that what you do to strengthen your mind can improve the health of your body, the health of your brain, and even the health of your connections to others, so that the anxiety and despair and disconnection people feel can really be improved by starting with this mind training practice.
Wow, practical information.
Mm-hmm.
The book is called Aware. I have a copy of the book here. If you would like the one that was sent to me, call me and it's yours. The rest of us have to buy it. Just go to Amazon. Do you want to recommend a different website, Daniel? A doctor?
Well, you can come to my website, drdansiegel.com. You can do the Wheel of Awareness practice, and through there you can get to any place where books are sold.
Excellent. And Dr. Dan Siegel spells his last name Siegel. Siegel. Thank you, Doctor. Have a great weekend. That was fun.
Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Robin. It's been a pleasure.
You are welcome. We'll be right back.
Veterans Helping Veterans USA. Call 352-433-2320. We help veterans and their families with limited financial assistance, counseling, employment referrals, and a food and clothing bank. You can help in making a huge difference in the veterans' lives we serve by donating food, clothing, household items, or direct financial assistance. All donations are tax deductible. Veterans Helping Veterans USA, 352-433-2320. Thank you for your attention, and God bless America.
With a graduate degree in management and leadership from Webster University, there'll never be a better time for you to explore what's next in your career. Classes are scheduled so you can continue your normal workday routine, and the accelerated program means a new term starts about every 10 weeks. If you're looking to gain a broad general management and leadership perspective, then Webster University's Management and Leadership degree program is the right one for you. It's all a part of what's next at Webster University.
Go to webster.edu/manage, accredited by ACBSP.
Here are today's headlines from the source, WOCA. Vice President Mike Pence passed through Ocala yesterday. Air Force Two landed at Ocala Airport, and Pence left from there to attend a fundraising dinner for Rick Scott in the Villages. Pence's plane landed a little after 4 p.m. Ocala Mayor Kent Gwynn and County Commissioner Vice Chairwoman Michelle Stone greeted him as he got off the plane. Few Florida schools conducted security assessments before February's campus massacre, and most grossly underreported student crimes. The state panel investigating the shooting learned yesterday of the state's approximately 3,900 public schools, only 116 completed an optional security assessment in 2016, and 16 were filed in 2017, according to Pinellas County Sheriff Bob Gualtieri, chairman of the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School Public Safety Commission. The state has been recommending schools do assessments since 2001, shortly after the Columbine High School attack in Colorado. During that 17-year period, Stoneman Douglas never did one, according to Gualtieri, and he says schools that did not were also not penalized. Separately, the commission heard yesterday that there has been massive underreporting by Florida schools in their required crime reports. Stoneman Douglas reported 0 incidents of bullying among its 3,200 students between 2014 2014 and 2017, and only 3 incidents of vandalism. The school reported 43 fights during that period, 2 batteries, and 12 incidents of smoking or other tobacco use. The commission heard that such underreporting has been common and is not penalized. The commission was told many schools statewide don't accurately report their crimes because they don't want to scare away students, as funding is based on enrollment. Tributes are pouring in for a world-famous Floridian.
You're Burt Reynolds.
Yes, I am. And if I let you up, are you going to do anything stupid?
No, I'm not.
That's a voiceover in the animated series Archer, one of the last roles played by Burt Reynolds, who died yesterday at a Jupiter hospital at the age of 82. Reynolds grew up in Riviera Beach. His dad was a police chief in nearby Delray Beach, and he spurned an offer the University of Florida to play football for Florida State. Longtime FSU and Tampa Bay Buccaneers voice Gene Deckerhoff.
He came up here, and I think the student body population was about 80% female and 20% male. And at that time, Florida was an all-male school. And Coach Nugent said, "I want you to play for me." And he said, I'll do it.
After an injury forced him off the field, Reynolds began an acting career that included many classic movies, including Deliverance and Smokey and the Bandit. Reynolds also co-owned the Tampa Bay Bandits of the United States Football League. He made one of his movies in Tampa, Cop and a Half. Once again, Burt Reynolds has died at the age of 82. Disney workers are celebrating what they call an historic and a huge victory. The union announced last night that its members overwhelmingly approved a new contract that calls for a $15 an hour minimum wage by the year 2021. In the short term, workers will get a $1,000 bonus by the end of the month. The current minimum wage for Disney workers is $10 an hour. More than 99% of union members approved the deal. The agreement affects about 30,000 workers. A Florida man already in jail for molesting a child has been arrested again for attempting to pay a hitman to murder the child. WTVT reports Billy Pierce was arrested after he offered another inmate in the Pasco County Jail $9,000 to kill the young girl and the witnesses who testified against him. The other inmate was able to obtain an actual contract from Pierce before informing authorities and recording conversations between himself and Pierce. According to the report, Pierce wanted the man to kill the girl along with her mother, father, sister, and uncle. He went as far as to explain the family's routine and best ways to access their home. Officials were not surprised the other inmate turned on Pierce. Pasco County Sheriff Chris Nacco says you don't want him in society. Most criminals have a code. They don't like child molesters, unquote. A Florida man has been sentenced to 4 years in federal prison for phoning bomb threats to a mosque. Court records show a Miami judge imposed the sentence yesterday on 26-year-old Dustin Hughes. He previously pleaded guilty to the hate crime of obstructing free exercise of religious beliefs. Federal prosecutors say 4 threatening voicemail messages were left in May by Hughes at the Jamaat ul Muttaqin Mosque in Pembroke Pines, Florida. The voicemails were laced with profanity and threats. Prosecutors say Hughes told the FBI after his arrest that he left the messages because he wanted to cause a big scare. Florida Democratic gubernatorial nominee Andrew Gillum announced yesterday that he selected his former opponent, Chris King, to be his running mate for the November election. King, an Orlando-based businessman, lost the nomination for governor, getting only 2.5% of the vote in the state's August primary. Now, King will return to the campaign trail as a candidate for lieutenant governor. If the pair wins, Gillum will be the state's first black governor. Gillum and King announced their bid alongside their wives in a campaign video on Facebook. And fans of Key West's Fantasy Fest say this year's street celebration is expected to be more colorful than ever. 6 weeks after Hurricane Irma tore a devastating path through the Florida Keys last year, visitors were welcomed back on the opening day of the annual Fantasy Fest in Key West. The mood last year was celebratory, especially for the locals. This year's edition, which runs October 19th through the 28th, is 10 days of masquerade balls, costume contests, performances, pool parties, beach bashes, and even a zombie bike ride with the theme, Oh, the Games We Play. The grand parade is Saturday, October 27th. The festival will revolve around characters from classic board games and video games. If you'd like more information about Fantasy Fest, the website is simply fantasyfest.com. And those are the headlines from The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM and 1370 AM.
You're thinking about selling your home, but where do you start? Easy. Call Angie at 352-361-8359. Angie works with you to get your home sold. Angie is more than just an agent with Roberts Real Estate. She's a pro with heart. Call her at 352-361-8359, and you will know you have the right person.
I'm Angie Umpleby, and I'm looking forward to working with you when you call me at 352-361-8359. That's 352-361-8359.
Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440. Our tractor services include bush hog, disking, front end loader, box blade, and stump grinding. We also have zero-turn mowers for the smaller paddocks, aisleways, fence rows, and lawn care. Fence row spraying is also available for weed control. We are licensed and insured. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440, or online at powellgene, Gene, at yahoo.com. Gene Powell Pasture Mowing. Gene is a proud United States veteran.
Howdy, folks. RL here for Dairy Queen again to tell you about what's hot and what's not. Dairy Queen has some of the best char-grilled chicken breasts on earth, as well as their chicken breast salad. The burgers are exceptional, cooked on a real grill for the best flavor and less fat. And for dessert, blizzards are unequal. So personally, banana split is my all-time favorite. Dairy Queen Silver Springs, where we always treat you like kings and queens.
With a graduate degree in management and leadership from Webster University, there'll never be a better time for you to explore what's next in your career. Classes are scheduled so you can continue your normal workday routine, and the accelerated program means a new term starts about every 10 weeks. If you're looking to gain a broad general management and leadership perspective, then Webster University's Management and Leadership degree program is the right one for you. It's all a part of what's next at Webster University.
Go to webster.edu/manage, accredited by ACBSP.
Hi, I'm Anthony with Finishing Touch Floors. Are you considering covering your old wood floors? Forget about it. Listen in on Wednesday, September 12th at 10:30 a.m. and let me, with over 35 years experience, inform you how to do wood floors right. Listen in on Wednesday, September 12th at 10:30 a.m. right here on WOCA 96.3 FM and 1370 a.m. The Source.
Hi, Matt Wilkerson here, your Verizon representative with news that will hum your car, make it smart and safe. How? With the new Hum device by Verizon. You can rest assured you're never alone. Flat tire? Lost? Accident? For $10 a month, Hum by Verizon has you covered. And I will come to you in Marion County to install the Hum for free. Time to call me at 352-528-0020. Are you ready to hum along? Call 352-528-0020.
Friends, countrymen, tourists, and Ocalans, lend me your ears. Hey, speaking of ears, there is an opportunity for you to help feed and provide good maintenance, housing, and medical care for Marion County's rescued big cats, bears, monkeys, and other disabled or unreleasable wild and exotic animals. Take a tour on Wednesdays or Saturdays of the Endangered Animal Rescue Sanctuary. Call 352-266-2859. The Endangered Animal Rescue Sanctuary is affectionately known as EARS.
With a graduate degree in management and leadership from Webster University, there'll never be a better time for you to explore what's next in your career. Classes are scheduled so you can continue your normal workday routine, and the accelerated program means a new term starts about every 10 weeks. If you're looking to gain a broad general management and leadership perspective, then Webster University's Management and Leadership degree program is the right one for you. It's all a part of what's next at Webster University.
Go to webster.edu/manage.